welcome back. Today we are going to talk about one of the most important topics of Flutter. I know I say that every video, like this is one of the most important topic, but that's the thing. This video is very important. Sorry. And I just have this image on the screen just to motivate you, to show to you where are we going. So don't feel down while learning this boring stuff and everything. Just to make you feel motivated, this is where we're going. But okay, for now, we're going to talk about stateless widgets. And what are stateless widgets? Okay, I can tell you that stateless widgets basically widgets that never change the state, or they don't really have a state. They're always the same. And I believe that that's kind of hard for you to understand if it is the first time you're hearing the concept. But to give you an example, for example, login screen, to create a login screen, you would use a stateless widget because the content of a login screen will never change. But if you want to create a home screen like this, you would use another type of widget, which we're going to talk about on the next video. It's called a stateful widget because the content of this screen will change every time a person posts a new product, or every time we have a new product, these images will change. Okay, if it was hard, don't worry, you will understand it as we code. What's the use of stateless and not stateless and stateful widgets and all of that stuff? If I go back to the last video, this is the last thing we had on the screen, right? We're writing import void, and inside of the material app we are providing home is equal to grid view and all of the stuff. But see, sometimes the application, most of the times the application will be very large, and you can't just come inside of the main and write the whole program. It's going to be very hard for you to debug, to troubleshoot the application, and it's not a good practice at all to have all of the code together, and sometimes code that are not even related to one another. So to overcome these, we use stateless or stateful widgets. How do they work? I'm going to use the same example, right? Or I can clear the screen to make things easy and go again, import package, Flutter the Dart, then void main, and in here I'm going to use run app. Then inside run app, oh sorry, I'm missing a semicolon. Okay, inside run app I'm going to give material app, and inside of this I'm going to give home. Let's create a column. Is it okay? Okay, column. Let's use different widgets for today, and before I use a column, let me make use of a center widget, and we're going to create a child, and as a child I'm going to give the column, and I want to use different widgets today. Icon, you see, can use this widget, the icon widget. You write icon, open brackets, and you write icons dot person, and inside and down here I'm going to give text Then I'm going to provide what we call, I'll write username, for example, or I'll write user only. Let us run this and see what happens. Okay, this is not really centered. This is not really centered. Actually, it is, but because we're dealing with a column here, we have this in this way. Okay, let me try to copy this. I'll paste it down here. And you know what? For the center widget, let's provide a container. I guess it will be easier for us to see what's going on. And for the container, I'm going to give the property color. Then you give colors. If you want to change the color, you give the parameter color, column, colors, dot, then the color that you want. And you have the user here. It's not really what we're looking forward to, but still, let me just comment this out. Okay, I can still find ways to arrange this, but it's going to take a time and we don't really need to do that. Let me write text, and in here I'll write column here. I'll write user again. Then we just have user. Okay, now we don't usually do this. What do we do? Let me cut that and we create a separate class. Use the shortcut STL, enter. Okay, now we'll create a class called, let's call it home page. This is stateless widget. What's the structure? The class name, home page is the class name, and we are saying that it extends a stateless widget class. Inside of here, we are overriding another class. If you don't know what overriding is, if you don't have a very deep knowledge of programming, right? Overriding is basically writing over something, if I can define it like that. This function, the build function, is defined inside of this stateless widget class. With this class, is the homepage class is just giving a new content or providing a particular content to this build class. Okay, maybe that's hard for you to understand for now, but just stick here with me, and with time these things are going to get easier. Home, we are going to give home page, right? And the error is gone. Here we are going to return a container, and inside of this container we are going to give child. Let me give text, hey. Then we have it here, hey. Again, I can just do color and write colors dot pink, for example. Here you have it. Let's suppose I want to style the text here. You can do that by doing this. You can just do style, and inside here you're going to write text style, and in here going to give the property color. Then you give colors that white, for example. You do need to have Dart programming knowledge to understand this. I repeat that point again. And if you're not, go and watch the Dart section or the Dart videos I have. Okay, so let's run this. Here you have it. You did change the color of the text. So you may be wondering now, how useful is that? By using these, we can do something very incredible. We can remove this class from this particular page. Let me reopen here. Okay, maybe I don't need to reopen. We can create a file. Come here, you create new Dart file. Let's call it home. Okay. In this file, you're going to need to import the package and then paste it here. You see? If you come back here, you can just come and import home.dart, and it's done. What happened? For example, on your main page, on the main page of the app, you're not going to have the whole code of the application. You'll have a login page, you'll have a registration page, and you can have code for those pages on different files and just import the files in this main file, right? If we run this, nothing is going to change. But if you come in here and change here the background color to something like what, blue, and run the app, you see everything changes. Okay, so this was a stateless widget. We have another thing called stateful widget. For now, you will not be able to see the difference of stateful widgets and stateless widget, because even if I write them, it will look as if they do the same thing. Okay, let me comment on this, and I'll write in here STF for stateful widgets, and again I'll give the name home page. And what happens? You have state class home page extends stateful widgets, override home page create state. We are creating a particular state. Then we have the state, which are recreating here, extends the home page class, right? Is the state of this home page class. Then we are overriding the build method again, and inside of here we can come and write what I'm going to use a text. Sorry, I have to give child. Okay, child text, and I'm going to write I am a stateful. Okay, we have it here. I am a stateful. For now, it seems like they're doing the exact same thing, but let us just advance on the course and we'll reach a point where you'll completely understand the difference between the stateful and the stateless widget. Okay, but as I told you, basically the states of a stateful widgets can change while the stateless widget has no state, so no state can change. All right, I really hope you did understand me, and for the next video we are going to start building something, right? Something is coming. See you on the next one.